All right, so this is our intro to team leader meeting. I usually do these one-on-one via phone call, but it's kind of just to answer your guys' questions about placement and give you some strategies when it comes to placing people. Because in case you're not aware, at Team Leader, you get to start placing, which is a huge benefit to your business because you can grow a lot quicker because you can move stylists in their first 35 days. It has to be done before their first jump start, and it cannot be undone. So you kind of have to, make your best judgment in terms of, what you think that stylist is going to do based on talking to them about their goals, and then where you think is the best move based on the information you have at the time. So I am going to share my screen here. So I know everybody's trees look slightly different, but if you're a team leader, it looks close to this. I know some of you have a few more people in different places. So rule number one when it comes to placement is, and this is just what was taught me, so it's not that my strategy is, right, but this is how I was taught, is that you always want to place to maintain before you look at placing to advance. And I'm going to explain what that means. So here's your basic team leader chart. You all have a senior stylist under you that helps you get to team leader. So let's just say, and I'm not going to use anybody's real names in their chart, but I'll use your guys' names. Let's say Patty recruits somebody this month, okay? And I'm going to use Patty because I know she did just recruit somebody. So if everybody under Patty maintains, and she's already got team leader maintained, then Patty wants to place to build towards director. So that would probably be either building another senior stylist. Maybe this stylist has a stylist and you could place someone here to make a senior stylist. Maybe this person's just a BQ'd leg, but they're really motivated and they want to grow a team. You could maybe move somebody here this month with the intention of moving someone else under them next month. Now, let's say everyone maintains except for this person right here, okay? You cannot maintain team leader without a senior stylist under you. And once you get that placement capability, you really don't want to lose it. So if for some reason this person wouldn't maintain, Patty would really want to move that person here to replace the stylist that did not BQ this month. Does that make sense to everybody? So there's no black and white. I mean, a lot of time, like what you do one month could completely change from month to month. Obviously our goal is to have all of our stylists BQ, but that just doesn't happen. So that's when recruiting is so important because, let's just say this BQ'd stylist, life happens. I mean, let's say they get COVID and they can't work their business, or maybe, their goals change and they're just not interested in working their business as hard as they used to. That's not a reason for you to lose rank because someone else's goals change. I always say other people's goals will not affect my goals. So I need to make sure I'm enrolling so that I still have a BQ'd stylist in that spot if for some reason someone does not bonus qualify.
So you can only move them. Once you move them, that's it.
That's it. And you will get, the first time you do it, you will get a verification. It will say, are you sure you want to place this stylist? And it'll list their ID number under this stylist and this ID number. And it will say, this is irreversible. So you just have to make sure you clicked the right people before you do it. And the VO does a really good job of walking you through. If you haven't looked at it yet, I encourage you to look at it. But if you go to team and geographical tree, I could pull it up here quick. So if you're going to place somebody, I'm going to try to do this without showing everybody's information over here. All right, so that's about as far down as I can go. But you can see the steps listed over here. And it says step 1, locate the stylist in the tree you want to place under. So let's just say I was under Vanessa and Vanessa was going to place under me. She would click on my picture, which will highlight my picture. And then if you keep scrolling down here, you have step 2, step 3, step 4. In the drop down, it lists all of your stylists that are currently able to be placed because they're in their first 35 days. So step 2, it says click on your stylist. So you would scroll down. I just don't want to show you guys like everybody's PVs and stuff. But if you scroll down, you can click on the name, and then I would go back and click on again. And that's when the verification window will pop up where it says, are you sure you want to place this person under this person? Verify the names, verify the ID numbers. I have done it wrong and it is irreversible. So just double check everything. Make sure you've got all your new stylist names memorized. I'll put it that way. So, but it always works out. Okay, let me go back to, there we go. No, that's not what I want. Wrong graphic. Here we go. So, nope, that's the wrong graphic too. Where'd it go? Oh, goodness. Oh, Lord, I don't even know. Okay, I might have lost it. Well, at least you saw it while I knew where it was. Okay, so the other thing. Okay, here we go. And then the other big thing that you have to be aware of is capped volume. So when you look at your metrics, it's going to say what your GV is, which is your group volume of you plus your entire team. And then it's also going to say what your capped volume is. It's not bad if they don't match, but I would say your goal is to get them to match pretty closely. Because what that basically means is that you have a balanced team.
What's our capped volume?
For team leader, it's 2,500.
What does that exactly
means is that you cannot have one leg on your team make up more than half of the required volume that you need for team leader. So let's just say you have a senior stylist on your team that just starts enrolling like crazy. And then your other 2 stylists, they just kind of like, they BQ and then they don't really go beyond BQ. So that would be okay if your sales are really high. But let me just draw this out for you. Vanessa, I'm just gonna pretend and use your
That's
name.
fine.
Okay. So you can see this. Okay. So let's say Vanessa has 300 in sales, and then your BQ'd leg has 300 in sales, and then your other BQ'd leg has 300 in sales. That's only 900. So even if you had, like, I don't know, say 4 stylists over here, even if you had your 2,500 you needed for team leader, you're not going to hit team leader. So between this person, and this person, it has to total half of 2,500. So it needs to equal 1,250. So that's one reason it's always, well, people say they hate capped volume, but I think, in my mind, it actually makes people have to go beyond the minimum they want to rank up. Like, you physically cannot, like if you had a senior stylist and a BQ'd leg and a BQ'd leg and everybody just did 300 and quit, like you don't have the volume to hit it. So it really pushes people to go a little bit further. And if your stylists aren't willing to push a little bit further, that's when you need to push a little bit further, you know? So let's just say we're gonna come back to Vanessa. And so let's say she does 600 in sales and hits enhanced commission, and then this stylist does 350 and this stylist does 300. Well, then she's gonna have that 1,250 on her non-strongest leg. So your strongest leg can do whatever volume they want to do. Like that leg could do 5,000 if they wanted to. But you plus the not strongest leg have to acquire half of the volume that you need. And I think that's just also, it keeps everybody working hard, because it's like let's just say, Patty, I'm gonna use you, but I'm gonna change the names. But let's just say Susie under Patty is recruiting and hits team leader, and then she keeps going, and now she's going for director, but Patty's not enrolling, okay? Patty can't just like ride off that strong leg, you know, to get the required sales that she needs for director. Like Patty has to enroll and add to the other legs if she wants, you know, so it kind of just keeps everybody working.
That makes sense.
So then you would recommend, Ashley, like, let me see. Okay, I am off of mute. That if, like, so I can move the newest stylist that I just signed up.
Mhm.
Probably not put it on Susie's leg because that's already pretty strong. Put it on a different side.
Usually. The
Okay.
only exception I would say is that, so I always say, if you can make a team leader trumps everything.
Okay. Okay.
So like if I have a move and I can move my girl here and make Jennifer a senior stylist, or I can move my girl here and make Susie a team leader, I usually make the team leader. And the reason why is because now Susie can place and build her own team, and all you have to do is recruit and focus on the other legs. So it just kind of depends, like, it's a case by case. You know, you don't want that leg getting too strong, but it is nice when you can have someone else that can place and build their own team, And then you don't have to place under there anymore, because if she's recruiting, she can build her own team.
Right.
You know, and then when she gets a team leader under that, they can build their own team. So, you know, I tend to, when I place, I tend to help people get to team leader. And then I kind of hope that they're going to take it and run with it, you know? And then like, I'll step in if it means like, you know, like if so-and-so is going for director and they're one person short, you know, obviously I'm going to help out, but you know, you kind of like work to get people to team leader, and then you kind of just hope they're going to like build the business. So we would have to look at the end of the month, I feel like, to
Right.
see, because like someone else could recruit under Susie and then she wouldn't even need a placement, you know?
Right. Yep.
She's already got one there. So, but yeah, I mean, generally, if you don't have someone going for team leader, then yes, I suggest like building like 3 senior stylists all the way across, you know? So like Kim, you already have a senior stylist, and then of your BQ'd legs, 1 is already enrolled. So if you can make another senior stylist, that just gives you 2 ways to maintain. So that if someone doesn't BQ on this leg, but this person maintains senior stylist, you're still going to get team leader. And then maybe the next month, this person has somebody that doesn't BQ, but because you have another senior stylist, you still maintain. So like your senior stylist might not always maintain, but because you have multiple routes to keep you at team leader, you maintain, you know?
So
if-
her legs will count for your different legs you need. So, like when you need 2 senior style or whatever, I can't remember what the next level is, but her legs would qualify also for BQ legs and senior stylist legs for you. Is that correct?
well,
Am I
so
answering?
it's the highest rank in the leg.
Okay, so that's the
So-
only one.
So, I mean, if you had 2 senior stylists and a BQ'd leg, then one of them is acting as the senior stylist and one of them is counting as your BQ'd leg, even though they're a senior stylist.
Okay.
But like, let's say you had a BQ'd leg, and then under that BQ'd leg was a team leader. That's a
Okay.
team leader leg, not a BQ'd leg, even though the BQ'd leg is the top. You know, so like if somebody
Oh, okay.
outranks somebody, you know,
Yep.
then, you know, so, well, I don't have an example anymore, but so one of my executive legs, I had a team leader above them,
Okay.
but because my level 2 outranked my level 1, whatever her rank was my whatever leg, director leg, senior director leg, or whatever, because it doesn't matter where they are in that leg. Like, I mean, I could have a level 5, you know, executive director leg if that level 5 passed everybody in rank above her.
Okay. I think, yep, that makes sense. So,
Or like if you had a stylist that didn't BQ, but she enrolled somebody that BQ'd, that would count as a BQ'd leg.
BQ'd leg.
Like it
Okay.
doesn't matter what the level 1 does, because the highest rank in the leg is BQ'd.
Okay.
Any questions, Vanessa? You sound like you look like you're thinking hard.
No, I just didn't know that.
I didn't know that either before I started placing people.
That's cool.
I just learned about it at that leadership training. So I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Yeah.
And have any of you guys gotten a chance to watch the trainings in the app?
I've done most of them.
Okay. So I would definitely make it a goal to do that. So under the conference training, they loaded, it's like a team leader module thing. I went through and did them just because I wanted to see what they were teaching everybody. So if you go under training in the app and then scroll all the way down, you'll see it says team leader. It's the very last one. And so then in there, it'll give you like an introduction to the comp plan. So what you now earn as a team leader that you didn't earn before, because now you're going to be earning commission on your level 3s. So if you count your levels, you got 1, 2, 3. You're now getting paid on your 3s where you weren't before, which, Patty, I think you're the only one with 3s right now. But that's good, because I always tell people, like, you want to get there before you have people at level 3, because you don't want to have level 3s and not be team leader and then be like missing out on that money, you know? So then like by the time you have level 4s, you know, it's a good goal to be at director, because otherwise you're like literally missing out on money that you could be making. Yeah, and then it goes through, there's like a leadership behaviors training, talks about the placement suite. So that will show you more about what we're talking about tonight. It will show you, walk you through how to make a placement, has your team leader map in there. And then, yeah, it looks like I've done all of them but one. So yeah, onboarding new stylists, it gives tips for like, you know, when you enroll new stylists and all that. So I would definitely suggest checking that out. And then they just loaded today, I think it was today. So now it goes like, so now they have like the director one. So once you hit director, then it's gonna like keep building. So they've done them for like all the levels and they're loading them one at a time.
That's cool.
Any like specific questions? I know you'll have more questions when you actually go to do it, and I will obviously walk you through if you need walked through. And I mean, this is like my last week of the month. Like, you know, we pull up people's charts and we look at everything and we look at, you know, where we think people, you know, could go based on, you know, who wants a team, who's trying to enroll, things like that. And we, you know, we talk through them. So it's never like a decision you just have to make and not have anybody to talk to about it.
I have a question.
Yeah.
So if I signed up a new person, because I'm thinking I wouldn't move them right away. Or
Right.
I don't know. I would think I would want more people,
Right.
like spread out. But then since my, for the 2 BQ'd stylists, since my stylists have other people under them,
Right.
then one of those would count if they BQ'd as one of my BQ'd stylists plus
Yeah.
the senior.
Yes.
Because, okay.
Yeah, because you have a BQ and a senior stylist and then like 2.
And then, yeah.
Yeah. So like either one of those girls could count. Or if they're both
Could count.
BQ'd, it still counts as a BQ'd leg because that's the highest rank.
Okay.
So, and you really like it, I think it's fine to be like 4 across, you know, like if you want like an extra leg in there, I think that's smart. You just don't want to build too wide, you know, because you don't really need to be wide. Like it comes in depth.
Okay. That's, yeah, I didn't realize that it would count
Yeah.
below.
Yeah.
'Cause,
Like I usually tell people to like find 4 motivated people and kind of like build in 4, you because you only need 3 later legs, but it's always nice to have a 4th in case, you
One
know,
of them does.
who knows?
So quality and not quantity. I mean, place them strategically so you're not larger, you're stronger
Right, right.
underneath you.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
You know, and like one of the things, like, I don't know if I would say it was a mistake because it all works out, but I will say like I have placed with people that didn't want a team, you know? And so like now I try to talk to people and see if they want a team before I place with them, because I don't want to place and then have them decide they don't want this. And then I got to like build new, you know? And so sometimes I've just put people where I wanted them to rank up. And like sometimes it's benefited, you know, sometimes they didn't think they wanted a team, but then they realized after they had people under them that they did want a team. And then other times they told me they didn't want a team. And then after they got a couple people under them, they still didn't want a team, you know? So like, you kind of just gotta like make your guess. Like some people I can just, I don't know. I just sense that they're gonna want a team. I mean, who doesn't want more money, really? You know, I mean,
Yep.
it's like, I'm giving you an extra 3%. You don't want it? Okay. But, you know, and, you know, and that's the other thing too, is that like, your placements are your placements, you know, like it's really up to you to decide. And so, you know, sometimes, well, you want to, and we'll talk about this too when you make it, but like you want to be good with the conversation. Like I have stylists sometimes that get nervous or worried because they feel like I'm like giving them away to someone else and that they're not going to have me anymore as their mentor. But I just remind them that like, you know, I'm still your enroller. I'm still your go-to girl. You know, this just means that I'm going to be able to place under you in the future, you know, and when you word it like that and you word it like, this is just someone extra that you can reach out to, that usually helps calm their fears, you know. And actually all 3 of you have been placed. So
Mhm.
I mean, you get it, you know.
Yep.
And I just like, I mean, I tell new stylists now, I don't tell them when they join because I don't want them to worry about anything, but I do have that conversation in the new stylist chat and I say everybody gets placed, because like you know, I don't need to grow wide, I need to grow in depth. So, you know. But I think that's it. So if you guys have any more questions, feel free to ask. We've got 8 minutes left. Otherwise, just know that when you enroll a new stylist, you want to move them by their day 35. I typically tend to move them the day before their day 35. So you have like a full month to see, are they working hard? Are they going to be Q? You know, unless their day 35 is like right past the beginning of the month. Like if I had anybody that was the first week of August, I moved them at the end of July so that I could help people rank up, you know, because moving them now doesn't do anybody any good. Everybody's like at, you know.
Yeah.
And you can always reach out and just say like, hey, I'm thinking of moving this person under blank. Do you think that's a good idea? Or, oh, I can't decide if I want to move them here or here. And then, you know, we can just kind of like look at everybody's volume and talk it over. And I'll probably ask you like, oh, have you talked to so-and-so? Do they want to grow a team? You know, and that's when it's like important to know people's goals and stuff. Some people want a team, but struggle with recruiting. And other people just don't want one. So, you know, it's always good to ask.
Good to know. Good tip. I didn't know I wanted a team. I didn't know I was going to be a stylist. I'm just buying nails.
I'm with you, Kim. I was the same way.
I know. I'm like, what? I can't even host a party. What am I doing? I don't know. Forget it. I'm just going to buy. I showed my husband Ashley's video about, you want to just buy, you can just buy nails. Cheaper.
Hey, I referenced you in my Connect the Dots.
Oh, I was driving 60 miles an hour down a freeway into downtown Minneapolis, and I was almost crying. I'm like, oh my God, she's talking about me. And then I played it when I got home. I go, listen to this. And I turned it way up. And I go, now listen. Because, you know, and we're eating dinner, and he goes, that's you. And I go, unless I have another evil twin, that was me. And then I told Carol, I go, because she babysits her granddaughter, I go, I tagged you in that. Did you watch it? She goes, yeah. I go, that first person she was talking about, I'm pretty sure was me. And she goes, oh, I have to watch that again. I go, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm because everything fit exactly. And I'm just about in tears, hauling into downtown Minneapolis going, I could hardly see. It was perfect timing, though. It was perfect. I got out of the doctor, driving. I got into the ramp, and you were done. It was perfect. So, yeah, that I was going to ask you, but I thought, no, I knew. So,
Yep.
it's a good story, though, right?
It is. It's a great story. And
I'm still trying to believe it all.
everybody can learn from it. Hey, I mean, I can't believe it either.
I'm only beginning to see, and I go, I just can't even imagine above me. I mean, I thought I'd be done by now, and I'd be all done. That wasn't my goal, but yeah. And because of you, what you did for me at that point in time, that's what did it. Having me have a party with Jenny, and you knew enough from my parties and people, you paid enough attention and cared that you said, think she'll have a party for you? And I'm like, I don't know, I suppose. And it just took off from there. It was just like, what? So that was important, Ashley, and I thank you very much, because I have quite the group. They're
very supportive.
They're amazing people, and it's growing. Just like you said, you get a VIP from a party, even when you think you're having a flop party, it's not a flop party. You can have one person join your VIP, and it'll make and it's true. I've experienced it like 3 times. So I do listen. I don't always understand the first time, but I do, and I have repeated it to a couple of my stylists. And I'm like, it's just going to take some time. Just believe me.
Right.
And I always say, Ashley said. They listen then. I'm doing this exact, you can do whatever you want, but I'm still doing your same party. That's how I do my parties, is exactly how you did mine, because it works.
Yeah.
You got to explain the product, get it out there on their fingers, make it fun with games. Done. It works.
It's all about the fun. It really is.
I'm having fun, so I can tell they're having fun. Otherwise, yeah. So
yeah. I remember thinking during my party before I signed up as a stylist, I'm like, this is the most fun I've had in a really long time.
I know, pretty sad, huh?
It almost like made me sad. I was like, geez,
now it's over.
Life.
Well, when you start having kids, it's like your whole world. I mean, it's what you want, but it's like, okay, you're not going to work full time. It's like your whole life turns upside down. I mean, it's worth it, and you don't regret it, but
right.
I used to
you just don't have that like social.
No.
I do now, but I definitely didn't have that when I first started staying home.
Yep. No, I couldn't wait for Floyd to get home. Here you go. I'm all done. Bye. It's like talk whole sentences, please. And my son is older than all of you guys, so but I still remember, and even when you